Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Basin. Welcome back to everyone who is already a subscriber to the show. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. Always an honor to have a first-time guest on the show. And tonight, we have a first-time guest of the show about ready to make his debut for 247 Fighting Championship, Brawl in the Burgh on June 29th. Carlos Bolyard, welcome to the show.
Hi, glad to be here. Glad for you to have me. Really excited to just come show my shit.
It's really great to have you on the show, and thanks so much for taking time. June 29th is going to come upon us very quick. It's a very busy day for 247 as you're part of a doubleheader fight event. I believe you are going to be part of the noon of the midday card, the 21 and a half card. Very exciting. Let's back up just a little bit. What athletic background did you have prior to MMA? And then how did that lead you into training MMA whenever that happened?
Well, like a lot of people nowadays, I came from a wrestling background, which immediately transitioned me into, as soon as I got out of school, looking for something that was similar to it. And the first thing I found was what I got taught, which was Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. And that led me into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And it so happened for me to be lucky enough to have a cousin who also pursued MMA with the name Josh Armstrong, who actually went professional fighting. And he's the reason why I kept pushing myself, even though every time I come to something like COVID or something like that, always holding me back.
Gotcha. I'm pretty sure I've seen Josh Armstrong fight on the regional circuit, if I'm getting the right name, because obviously there's a lot of fighters out there, but that's very cool. Where do you train? What gym are you at? And how's that been for you training at that gym?
Currently, right now, I've been bouncing around from Nomad to Roma to down at Powerhouse MMA, just trying to find somewhere that fits for me, but nothing really fits too well for me. But I'm liking the vibe from all these places and just being welcomed in with open hands. But for the most part, Josh is my on-hand coach, and we really do all we can to either go to gyms to provide me what I need or do what we can with what I have at hand.
Well, that is great. It's you mentioned that you go to about 3 or 4 different gyms. It's kind of nice that you get to cross train and, like you said, bounce around, pick up things that work for you. Really cool that you have your cousin as your main head coach, just working things more with you independently. Talk about your opponent. How much do you know about Tyler Dibert? He's had one amateur fight. You've had one amateur fight. I said it was your debut, and I did not specify in your intro. I should have said it's your debut with 247 is what I meant. You already do have experience. Tyler's had one fight and was with 247, so I got to watch it. What do you know about him, and how do you think you guys match up?
I actually don't know too much about him. I'm just excited to go in there. I believe he's a wrestler, and that just matches up perfect for me because I think wrestlers cancel out each other. And we all know what that means. It's going to be a standing show, and we're just going to probably bang it out and just be there for the crowd.
Well, you're absolutely right. Most of the time when two wrestlers uh, take each other on, it ends up being a striking fight, and kind of the opposite's true. Sometimes when both guys are strikers, one of them takes it to the ground. So that's the cool part about mixed martial arts. It's very exciting. I know that Tyler has obviously been working on his craft, and so have you. So that's very exciting. Without giving anything away in your mindset or game plan, would you like to make a prediction, or how do you see this going? You mentioned that you think it's going to be banging it out because of the wrestling. Do you want to make a prediction, or if not, why do you think people should be excited about this fight?
Well, I would like to make a prediction, but everyone should be excited regardless because it's going to be a standing bang out of a fight. Because if my prediction is right, it's only going to be one man standing because one of us is going to leave conscious and one is going to leave unconscious. And I know I'm going to be leaving my hand raised.
Well, that is great confidence, a great prediction. I think every fight on both of those cards, you guys are the first card of the day, the 21 and a half card. I think every fight is going to deliver, and it's going to deliver because of fighters like you and fighters like the other people willing to get out there and go. Your mindset obviously is to bang it out and win by striking. Are you waiting to kind of see how this goes to then figure out what's next for you, or do you already love MMA enough to know that you're going to continue to train and fight regardless of how this goes?
Oh, I'm going to continue regardless because I love MMA. I've been around the block a little bit because early in the year, I actually competed and tried to get on to a bare knuckle fighting championship and tried to make it as one of the prospects down in Virginia, Manassas for their tryout, and just barely missed entering the show in there. And I know it has a lot to do because I had a vasectomy earlier in the year and wasn't able to actually train properly. And Chris Lieben himself said my cardio was just lacking a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I know. I just couldn't run any because doctor told me I couldn't run. I was only allowed to train about a week up to going down there and trying out, and just missed going on to that show because I had the second overall pound for pound or pound per square inch punch at 685, and only one other man was able to outbeat me at 711, and he had to have a running start.
Well, that bodes well for the punching portion of MMA for sure. In your tryout for bare knuckle, were you sparring with like the one arm? It's kind of like the Muay Thai plum, but it's one instead of two. Did you use that a lot? And what's that? How comfortable is that for you? Because that's a big part of bare knuckle is using the tie, the one arm tie.
It's not that much of an issue with me. I came from a little bit of a Muay Thai background, so I like to push and pull a little bit. And plus, being a wrestler, I'm not. I'm pretty familiar with the single collar, so I know how to push and pull and get a couple uppercuts and little dirty boxing in there myself. So I'm pretty excited, and I know my way around it.
Well, that is incredible. I can't wait to see it. June 29th is right around the corner. Everybody that's watching this, besides subscribing, like I said in the beginning, please also get your tickets from 247fighting.com and give Carlos credit. That will go to him. That's if you want to see the show at the Monroeville Convention Center in person. If you're too far away, you're watching this on social media. If you're too far away, then download the app through whatever app store you use, 247 Live on every smart device you can get it. You can watch some free content, and then you can also get the pay-per-view. You can also give Carlos credit that way as well. So you can do the pay-per-view through 247 Live app, and you, of course, can put that up on a smart TV for a better viewing experience, or you can come to Monroeville, but get tickets now. Both cards are likely going to sell a ton of tickets, so support Carlos, support his journey in MMA. I really appreciate you coming on the show. This has been Luke Payson with MMA Fancast, and first time guest on the show, Carlos Bolyard. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You got it, brother.